that, we come to one of our final segments here. Talk about our grind to ranked. Woohoo! Since that is a fairly long 20 levels you have to go through.
Was it 20?
It is 20 levels to get to unlock ranked in Valorant.
What did I come up with? 5. I don't know why 5 was in my head. Okay, 20 levels.
I'm not.
I am old and getting senile, apparently. I don't know why 5 was in my... It was just 5. 5 was 5. Anyways, 20 levels.
So, now, I had a bit of an advantage going into it, as I had played Valorant before. When it first came out, I had gotten a beta key and played it for a little while, and I'd gotten like 5 or 6, 7 levels.
And it says levels, right? It wasn't wins.
Just levels.
Okay, I'm getting... There's a lot of different things going on with different things, so... Yeah, 20 levels. Yeah, it was for me, it was... I mean, well, we did a lot together. You know, we played a lot and got a few levels up. But just in general, it seemed like a lot. It seemed like a lot. I mean, refer back to how I feel about the gameplay. I can only do so much for so long, you know. So it seemed longer than it probably really is because of that reason.
But I will never knock something like that, a requirement like that.
No. That's a must. That's a must in any game that has a competitive mode. You need to play X amount of levels, and it's got to be, in my opinion, a significant amount. Not like a ridiculous amount. You know, 20's good, you know.
It helped us get through that first phase where we are running around like chickens with our heads cut off. We have no tactical or strategic idea of how to go about playing Valorant.
Yeah, zero clue how to play it, so it's a must. It's a definite must, and I think people might feel differently, but I would have ruined a lot of people's games going straight into a competitive mode, not knowing anything about the game, how it works. You know, like with Valorant, you buy a weapon, you know, you purchase things between rounds, not knowing how that works, not knowing anything, not knowing the maps, not knowing anything. You would be ruining a lot of people's competitive
experiences.
And to me, that ruins the integrity of of competition.
Yeah.
Because you're destroying somebody who doesn't know, may not know the rules of the game, depending on what it is. You may not know, you know, the tactical, strategic places of the game. You don't know the layout of the maps. You don't know what you're doing.
Yeah.
Why do I have this piece of equipment called a spike or whatever? What do I do with it? You know, what does it do? Oh, I'm supposed to put it somewhere. Okay, you don't know where, you don't know how, you don't know. That would really ruin a competitive game for people if somebody doesn't know how to do that. So I welcome the requirement.
It's definitely a big contrast from where I started with Valorant and where I ended going into comp. By the time when I started, I had terrible econ management.
Oh, miserable. It's like, oh, I got enough money to buy this really expensive gun. I'm buying that fucker. Boom. No, it's not what you want to do.
So I have started valuing, by the time I finished, I did start valuing guns over armor.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
Because I figured, and this might be a bad train of thought, but I figure I only have a second or two anyways to shoot the guy back, if that, upon seeing someone. So I figure if I only have that much time anyways, armor's not going to really...
And spending $1,000 on armor when it's really... Is it going to make that big of a difference?
Aye.
Where, I mean, ultimately, I think higher level play, it makes a difference. But where I'm at, is it really going to make a difference? I'm going to get dunked on anyway. So I just wasted $1,000 on armor that I probably didn't, was probably useless to me.
And as you climb anyways, you're going to learn better econ management.
Yeah.
Even better econ management that you would see in higher ranked play, things like VCT, stuff like that. You're going to learn that.
I mean, I've learned a lot of it, and it's the reality of it is like just because the gun's expensive, if you can't shoot it, there's no point buying it. I sometimes do better with some of the more inexpensive weapons. You know, they feel better to me. I have a better feel for them as I'm playing. So it just works for me, you know. Find what works for you, you know. That's the bottom line for it. And I mean, that helps my economy because I tend to do better with some of the more inexpensive weapons. So that's what I'm buying. So then I can show out for the armor, but there again, we just talked. We don't really need it, in my opinion. But maybe when I get better, it will help me out more. As it sits, it doesn't really help me. My head getting blown off doesn't matter if I'm wearing body armor or not.
One thing I really enjoyed, there was a good sense of progression as a new Valorant player.
Yeah.
From level 1 to level 20 when I was entering comp, you really feel like you actually have improved enough to maybe hold your own in comp.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely different from your game 1 to your game 20. You can, like you're saying, you can for sure feel the progression that you've made. It may still suck, because I suck still, but you can tell from the very first game to the game 20 and beyond, you can feel, it feels good because you can feel your improvement, for sure. And I think in some games, it's hard to feel that. And I'll even kind of smash Overwatch for that. It's like I don't always feel like I'm improving. Even though I know I am, I don't have that feeling. But at least in Valorant, I can feel the
progression.
progression.
And as a new player, that was a very nice feeling.
And kind of important, especially for someone like me to feel the improvement. Because if I don't feel the improvement, then I'm not going to want to continue playing because I'll get bored personally. But no, I really like the fact and the feeling of Valorant's progression as opposed to other games where I don't necessarily feel that. I definitely don't feel that in Apex. You know, you just either have a good game or you don't. You know. But it's like, it's a nice feeling of like, okay, I'm going to hold this flank, and then like 2 people come by and you shoot them, you know?
Yeah.
Because you were smart enough or you got the wherewithal to think, hey, they're coming, so I'm going to do that. And then you learn, you know, you're learning. You feel good about learning the game. So I definitely like that about Valorant.
Valorant is a complex game, and it was nice to see those complexities start to become clearer as we played more and more, as we got ourselves ready for what came next.
Yes, the competitive mode.
But I think we are just about wrapped up on our time here. But do you have anything else to say about Valorant before we head out?
I just want to reiterate that Valorant is a really good game. And it may have appeared that we said a lot of negative things about Valorant. Not necessarily negative, it's just my personal opinion on how I feel about playing the game. It's just not my cup of tea. But Valorant is a good game. I do enjoy playing it, just I can't play it for very long. So that's I just wanted to make sure this isn't a Valorant hate, and I just felt like I came across as very negative, and it wasn't. To be negative.
Though, one thing I'm going to be blatantly negative about Valorant is you fucked up with your new title screen.
Yes.
Your title screen looks a lot like another game I play very regularly. And it feels completely against the tone and style of the game. And the previous one was fantastic. But did you hit the fucking Overwatch panic button?
Feels that way.
Overwatch's main menu is fantastic, and it looks good in Overwatch. Your Overwatchified Valorant main menu does not look good. It doesn't. It feels slapped together and just, why does it exist?
Agreed. I will agree with you on that.
But that is the only, super blatantly negative thing I'm going to say about Valorant, is your new main menu sucks.
Agreed. And on that note, I think...
On that note, I do think it is time for us to wrap up here, and...
Before the pitchforks come out.
Next week, we will be talking about Apex Legends. We're diving headfirst into Apex, because I have some very contentious things to be saying about that game. Being a Titanfall 2 fan. Boneyard here has only played Apex. Meanwhile, I played Titanfall 2 and not Titanfall 3, so...
Yes.
Make sure to subscribe to stay tuned for that rant of mine.
Yes. Definitely subscribe.
But see you next time, and we cannot wait to update you on our opinions of Valorant as we dive more into its ranked mode.
On that note, bye all.